What's going on, everyone? Welcome to MLB Central in the virtual world. We are reunited finally. Lauren Shahadi, Mark DeRosa, Robert Flores here with you on what would be opening day of the Major League Baseball season. We would love nothing more, I think we speak for all of us, than to be on the crushed red velvet. But this is the new normal. We're going to make the most of it. We love talking baseball. You love baseball content, so we thought we would get together a couple times a week and do just that together. Hi, guys. Missed you.
Hey, Lauren, missed you too. I always tell people the great thing about this show is that, we're only together for basically half of the calendar year. So when we reunite, it's the first day of school.
Yes.
And DeRo, this is the weirdest first day of school ever.
I'm just glad. Honestly, I've missed you guys. I look so forward to packing the car up and getting up to New Jersey and grinding out the 6 months with you guys and really having fun. So I'm ecstatic that we're at least getting a chance to do this. Like Lauren said, this is the new normal, and at least for the foreseeable future. But I want to talk some baseball.
So DeRo, to that end, as a former player, if you were in this current situation, in this time of uncertainty, what would you be doing right now?
Yeah, I think Ro Flo, for me, coming out of spring training where the position players were, a lot of them were getting close, ramping up to the point where they're calibrating that heater, that 93 to 95 mile an hour fastball that you have to be able to attack at all times. I think a lot of them were close to being there and ready to go. I would say I would keep doing pretty much the same thing that I would be doing in spring training. Obviously, you could take a few days, listen to your body, but keep the arm ready to roll. Keep swinging. From a pitching standpoint, that's where it gets tricky. I'd love to have Smoltz or Pedro or one of our pitching extraordinaires come on, because I think that for me would be tough, because those guys were getting a ramp up, getting ready for 4 and 5 innings.
You always say, DeRo, spring training is always about timing. You guys got a taste of spring training, 30 clubs in 30 days. And what does DeRo always say when he comes back from spring training every single year, Robert?
So-and-so was so jacked.
Yes! Shahad's so jacked. Nothing gets him more fired up. Who was that guy for you, Robert?
For me, it was Jorge Soler. I mean, everyone knows I have a soft spot in my heart for the Kansas City Royals, but I don't know how someone can be so wide and then have a waist that's so tiny. I mean, frankly, it's annoying.
Yeah, he's a stud. Lauren, I'm going to shock you. Obviously, I got to do 5 camps. Derek Jeter was the coolest guy I got to see in camp, at Marlins camp. He was amazing. Breaking bread with him for about 10 minutes. And I'm going to stay in Marlins camp. Corey Dickerson blew me away. He's shredded up. This is a guy that's dealt with injuries his entire career, but can always flat mash. We went in the cage, did a demo, and he talked about biomechanics, spine movements. This is a guy that's really invested in himself and his body and kind of understanding. I expect him, even though the Marlins could have a tough season, I think they'll be better, but I expect him to have a monster offensive season.
I like that.
Honing his craft. I love that. I wasn't expecting you to say that. Gentlemen, it is MLB Central, and it would not be MLB Central without a little nonsense.
Yeah.
And some gratuitous glasses. Are you ready?
Oh, come on.
A little into it or over to humor me,
bring
honey?
those from the studio? Is that part of your survival?
I just have them in my kitchen. Just happen to have them. No big deal. Nothing to see here. Midday Tuesday, we learn Noah Syndergaard will undergo Tommy John surgery. We always expect about 12 to 15 months recovery. The Mets are no longer contenders to win the NL East. Into it or over it, DeRo? The Mets no longer contenders to win the NL East.
I'm going to say over it. I'm going to say over it. He's been dinged up quite a bit in recent memory, all right? I still think they got the best pitcher in baseball in Jacob deGrom. I still think Marcus Stroman believes in his heart that he's a 1. If he pitches to a 1A behind deGrom, there's your coverage for Thor. And then Steven Matz has to step up. He has to get better this year for the Mets. I like the Rick Porcello sign, maybe a comeback player of the year. Michael Wacha. They can cover it to a certain degree. It's going to be a tough division. But this does not eliminate them.
I'm into it. And I have too much space between the N and the T, but everyone knows into it. It's one word. I don't have to tell you.
Is there a hyphen in there?
Yeah, there was a hyphen. I'm into it because of what you said, DeRo. The division is so tough. I had them as a dark horse favorite before this. I think the bullpen is going to be better. DeGrom is obviously elite of the elite, but I just don't know. Those questions that you raised, I don't know if all of them can be answered sufficiently for them to be able to get into the playoffs or win the division.
Yeah.
And DeRo's kissing up to our coordinating producer.
What do you got, Lauren?
I said, you're just kissing up to our coordinating producer, Kleinberg. He's with us. We can't get rid of him. He's Mets fan extraordinaire. What were you going to say?
Don't break his heart. I think everyone, I went to Washington Nationals camp, and they're going to miss Anthony Rendon, that offense.
True.
All right. Cole Hamels has got to be right for the Braves. He comes into spring training dinged up, so he's going to have time to get ready. But everyone's going to deal with injuries. I think the Mets can hang in there.
Now for the most important question of the day. Staying in your pajamas all day during this quarantine. Are you into it, or are you over it? You're over it? That is not what I expected you to say. I thought you'd sit in your recliner all day, game
I know.
in your PJs.
You know, if you would think that anyone that is built for this type of lifestyle would be
lockdown.
But I tell you what, at about 2:30 and you're still in your PJs, and you're like, oh, okay, we got to get the day started. Let's jump in the shower. Let's brush the teeth. Let's go. It's taxing. I'm not going to lie to you.
You wear pajamas, Robert? No chance.
Yeah, like the little drawstring bottoms. I mean, right now I'm not wearing pants. I mean, everyone knows that. But yeah, a little drawstring PJs. No, nothing crazy.
DeRo?
I'm over it as well. I've accrued some bad habits during this time, though. I'm not going to lie. Going to bed at 2 a.m. minimum, waking up at around 10:30.
Yeah.
But I am getting outside. If the sun's shining, I am getting outside in my little cul-de-sac with my 10-year-old and playing catch, riding scooters, shooting hoops, just trying to stay active if the weather's good.
Yeah. Well,
family time.
so that's a good jumping off point to what I want to ask next. Let's give people kind of a quarantine tip of the day. Let's call it our Q-tip of the day. Lauren, you're first. What do you got?
Here's the deal. You always touch your face. Average American touches their face 23 times an hour. So if you have a scratch on your cheek, your Q-tip of the day, just look.
Scratch it with a Q-tip?
Yeah, and then just discard. You're welcome. Don't say I never taught you anything.
Okay.
You're not buying it. Fine.
No, I'm buying it. I'm buying anything at this point. My tip of the day, I mean, this just leads to laziness. Let's not lie. You're at home, it leads to laziness. So you're going to have 24 hours where you're doing absolutely zero. Make your bed. I'm a big
darn it.
And if you're going to accomplish one thing, first thing in the morning, you get out of bed, make your bed. Every time you walk through the master bedroom, you're like, oh, at least I made my bed. I did one thing today. Now I can go sit on the couch.
I like that.
Who doesn't make their bed, though, by the way?
Something you said, DeRo, getting outside. I think that is very important. If the weather is nice, get outside, take a walk, or what I've been doing. I've been going to the track near my house and running. And the other tip within the tip, if you're going to be walking on the track and you see people running like myself, give me a lane. Move, because daddy's booking it. Okay. So I need a lane. Move it or lose it, sister. Give me that space so we can practice the social distancing and I can get my work in.
How often do you run? How far you run around that track? Honest.
I'll go between 4 and 5 miles.
Robert, that's great.
I know.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I love hanging out with you. You can find us tomorrow on all your social media platforms, Monday, Wednesday, Friday of next week. Can't wait to chat. We'll have some players on. We'll chat with them and talk a little baseball. What could be better than that?
Absolutely. All right. Good being with you guys, and we'll talk soon.
Bye, guys.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.